Hello everyone, firstly I would like to say welcome to our broadcast in YouTube. Today's flight from Kayseri to Istanbul, Lima Tango Alpha Uniform to Lima Tango Fox Mike. And our aircraft is already ready from yesterday's flight, and we are starting cockpit preparation. At the moment we are on the parking position, and as you see I'm doing my controls for the broadcast. And everything seems very well. Here is a Kayseri view from the mountain of Erciyes. And firstly I'm starting with my boarding, and by the way I will be checking for my flight plan. All doors opened. And today's flight number of passenger will be 200. I will not fly very heavy. And chuck set. I'll be checking for the fuel amount from Kayseri to Istanbul. We are automatically calculating the fuel required, and as per our flight plan, block fuel should be 7,000 kilograms, which means 7 tons. Requesting fuel. And from the cargo page, box opened. 1,000 kilograms for the front cargo, and rear cargo should be 3,000. It is a loading and refueling at the moment. Fuel on board approximately 2 tons. APU available, brake fan on. As you may see, our Airbus A321 is loading and fueling now. Okay, from here I can start my flight planning. Here is the initialization page. At the moment the from to page Lima Tango Fox Mike should be filled very properly, and sorry, start point will be Lima Tango Alpha Uniform and Lima Tango Fox Mike our arrival. Flight number TK3223. Cost index for Airbus that I choose 12, and cross flight due to we are flying to through the west, we will be flying 30,000 feet. And there is a wind tropo and wind data to be fetched from the system. And here is a flight plan. First I'm checking my flight plan. Initial departure for today. I will select here. Departure Lima Tango Alpha Uniform, and arrival Lima Tango Fox Mike. Altitude 30,000 feet again. I'm generating flight. From WhatSim interface, I'm preparing my flight plan again. An initial departure today from Kayseri, runway 25. Here is I insert runway 25, and initial standard instrument departure will be Kışla 1 kilo departure. Here is Kışla 1 kilo departure and transition on and inserting. And after Kışla point, Uniform Alpha 17 Yavru. Uniform Alpha 17 Yavru point. Here is our navigation, which helps us during our route. And Uniform Lima 615 Ersen. And another point, Ersen to Quebec, arrival for Lima Tango Fox Mike 35 right, runway 35 right. And we are ready, and initialization page I will be calculating our weight and performance. Here is our weight and balance, and reset the current. Our zero fuel weight, which means that we have no fuel that we are assuming, and 71.7 tons. And zero fuel weight, center of gravity 31.1. And here is a center of gravity from the rear. Our block fuel is 7 tons. Takeoff weight. Our takeoff weight will be 78 tons. Landing weight, we are estimating 3 tons fuel to be burned on the air, and landing weight will be 75 tons. And here is a performance page which will be calculating our critical speeds as means of in terms of knots and flap and values, thrust values, flexo temp. Here is our tablet that we are calculating here, takeoff performance, and our configuration one selection of flap, and then CG is already inserted here. By the way, one more time, takeoff performance. And today we are expecting partially cloudy weather in the Kayseri and in arrival. And our QNH, local QNH 1008. For both of site, captain site and the FO site, we are inserting those values. And then we are continue. I'm computing here. Yes, our critical speed flex 30 and thrust 1 down 0.7. Flex 30. It seems that we are ready. We can close all the doors and arm. All doors arm and cross check. Set parking brake, chucks off. Pushback distance 70 feet will be enough because here is a short parking area in the Kayseri airport. Box closed. Yes. And our critical speeds 140 knots and 151 knots and 154 knots. Which means we will rotate at this speed 150 knots. And 154 knots V2, which means that even we lose one engine, we can continue to climb, take off, and we can turn back. And here is all preparation, lights on. All fuel pumps on. And APU billet on, packs after start. And we need 2 or 3 minutes wait. Very handsome Airbus A321. Our pushback car connected to Airbus. After 3 minutes we will be starting engines. And as you may see, our aircraft is ready for push and start. And regarding on push and start, before push and start, speed brakes armed and ignition on, and starting push. Here at that point I will change point of view the camera, and then I will fix the camera to pedestal side. Wait a minute. Here at that point, our pedestal is visible now. And release parking brake. Ignition switch on. Start engine number 2. Can be a bit more. Set parking brake. Disconnecting tow. Engine number 2 stable. Engine number 2 available. As you may see, the RPM increasing. Starting engine number 1. Here is a flight control in ECAM. Full right, neutral, full left. 11. Full right, neutral, full left. Full up, neutral, full down. And auto brakes RTO, which means that during takeoff, if something happened, if some failures, we will reject takeoff and automatic braking with maximum force will be applied to the wheels. And then flap 1. Here is a mountain of RGS. And starting taxi for runway 25. Release parking brake. And here is a pitch trim that we need to set it down 0.7. You can see from this indicator down 0.7. That's our stabilizer position. Up, it's a bit more. And then we are ready. Lights, taxi on, runway turn off lights on, pegs on, APU billet off, master off, APU off. and setting power for taxi. Not too much, a bit. Starting taxi for runway 25. A bit brake. Left clear, right clear. From left taxiway, I mean Hotel 1 taxiway, we will taxi until end of the runway. Left, make a left turn. It's a bit narrow taxiway, and make a right turn from Papa. We will taxi until end of the runway. A bit brake pressure. Yes, we are aligned on the taxiway. Here is the military cargo planes. They are parked. Throttle idle, we are very fast. It will go until end of the runway. We are on the Papa taxiway. Left is Echo, but we will continue straight. Here is a right taxiway, Delta 1. No. If we take off from here, probably the runway will be very short for takeoff, for the safe takeoff. Kayseri Airport at the same time used for the military purposes, so that you can see even in the simulator lots of military aircraft which carrying very heavy cargo. Yes, here in a 25, runway 25, Bravo 1. Yes, applying full pressure for the brake, and I will make a right turn. We are very good, and left is clear. And warning for the all traffics if they are approaching to Erkilet. Erkilet traffic, good day. Turkish Liner Delta Juliet. We are lining up runway 25 and takeoff. Yes, landing lights on, runway turn off lights off. Take off. RPM stable. Flex. Runway SRS Auto Thrust Blue. Flex manual 30. 80 knots. Check. 100 knots. Check. V1. Rotate. Positive climb ratio. Oh, here is a wind shear. Gear up. Left side is Erciyes Mountain and city of Kayseri. Lever climb. Set altitude 30,000 feet. Auto brake 1 engage. Set 30,000 feet. Climb. I think we can direct from the closest point, which means Kışla. Direct Kışla. And flap 0. Here is Erciyes Mountain. Very good view. And the weather is partially cloudy. And latest situation from our aircraft, we are climbing flight level 30,000 feet and we are passing from flight level 7,500 feet. And at the moment we set autopilot 1 and we are climbing 30,000 and our brake fan off and spoilers disarm and then flap 0. Terrain radar on. We see very dangerous elevations if we can meet. And at the moment we will be closing our QNH to standard mode. At the moment we set it 1008. By the way, I'm planning to set all the configuration for the landing because generally Kayseri Istanbul flights, they are very short, they are not taking that much time. It's around 1 hour and weigh them from the landing performance according to my SimBrief flight plan. I'm checking my SimBrief flight plan here. According to SimBrief we will be landing runway 35 right and I'm justifying it here. Landing performance 35 right, and as you may see here is 35 right. I'm checking. Wait a moment. Landing, yes, reset. Yes, here is a 35 right. And the direction of the wind, as you may see, here is coming from the 307 degrees 4 knots. It can be negligible wind speed because it's very low. Until 10 knots we can add our final approach speed 5 knots. So that I'm setting QNH 1005 firstly. By the way, we are passing from flight level 11,000 feet and here is our QNH to be set 1005 and I'm checking it to be standard and 1005 again for the FO site. And next step is to set auto brakes. Istanbul runway 35 right is very long runway, so that low stage braking is more than enough for stop properly and safely. And then here is I'm computing my by the way, reverse on, yes, landing configuration full and air conditioner off, and our landing weight will be 75 tons. And then here is a performance page. I'm setting all the configurations here. QNH, last QNH was 1005, and temperature in Istanbul will be 14 degree of Celsius. And then magnitude and the wind speed. Here is a 374 knots. I'm transferring all data here, and we approach. I will land full, and according to my charts, Lima Tango Fox Mike, I will check. We will do ILS 35 right Zulu approach for Istanbul. And here is the Istanbul, no, not this, approach. In the approach page, I'm checking. Sorry. Yes, here is the approach page. We are planning to land ILS 35 right Zulu approach. Yes, continue. Here is, I will find. This is X-ray approach. ILS Zulu. ILS Yankee. ILS Zulu, no. Wait a moment. Yes, here is ILS Zulu, runway 35 right. And according to our chart, in Istanbul, our minimum descent altitude is Frugo. At Frugo, we need to be at flight level 4,000 feet, and our minimum descent point 510 feet of elevation from the sea level. And I'm adding 5 knots for the correction, wind correction. 150 knots, we will be touchdown. And spoilers arm for Istanbul. And due to I'm passing from the over 10,000 feet, the ignition mode is norm. I need to explain all the things regarding the crank. Something during long usage of the engines, it could be cleaned. During cleaning, we are taking the position. Here is a crank, and then we are setting manual here, and from the low speed, low revelation of the engine turbine turning, we are cleaning, and we are injecting some chemicals to clean engines. In the real life, it's like that. Here is a manual switching for the engine startup during crank mode, and overhead panel, it seems everything is okay. Landing lights off here. During approach, we will be activating all the landing lights, and seat belts fastened, and no smoking on. And I need to review the chart again. Here is a chart that we are first directing got the point, and after Frugo point, we will be catching the ILS for the localizer at 4,000 feet, and after 4,000 feet, 354 course of runway direction. We will be trying establishing on runway 35 right Zulu approach. Here is also in the chart you may file lots of misapproaching procedures that if we can't land successfully, then how we can go around and how we can come to correct position again and again. In the chart, wait a moment. Yes, it's really headache to correct. Yes, runway elevation 11 hectopascal, and transition level to be given by ATC, Air Traffic Controller Unit. And our final approach course is written here, and here is final Istanbul Tower. After landing, if there is active tower in the Istanbul, we will be connected 131.1, and Istanbul Tower for all the frequency that pilots may need. And misapproach procedure: climb 3,000 feet if we can't landing. If we can't land, Ladux point on course 354, and maximum speed to be during misapproach will be 230 knots. Turn left and Fox Mike 090 and hold. We will be holding at that point. And there is a simplified explanation how can we misapproach. How can we do misapproach procedure. And at the moment we are climbing passing flight level 20,000 feet, and I'm checking my radio panel if there is, yes, Ankara control will be requesting. Okay, we will first contact with Ankara ground on 129er 425. And I'm talking with Ankara Control. Ankara Control, iyi günler. Turkish Liner Delta Juliet. We are passing flight level 210 and climbing flight level 300. And we are 5 miles away from Kışla. Squawk 6434 Turkish Liner Delta Juliet. And squawk is very important during the radar control service because from this 4-digit number, the radar Ankara, I mean the active radar is Ankara radar. Ankara radar is following us in their screen, and they identify us. What's our heading? What's our direction, and where we are going, and where we were takeoff. He may send some notification to direct the closest point, something like that. And some traffics, they are requesting IFR clearance for their arrival. Here is lots of pilots like us flying at the moment on the Turkish airspace. Turkish Liner Delta Juliet Roger, sir, identified climbing flight level 300. And radar indicated that we are... Just a moment. Okay, not for us. They requested from us to climb flight level 300 and he indicated that we are identified on the radar screen. And during our flight, during our cruise, I will be out of cockpit for 10 minutes. I will request Ankara Control Turkish Liner Delta Juliet, if possible, we are out of cockpit for 15 minutes. Monitor Unicom, iyi geceler. He wanted us to switch Unicom, wanted to disseminate that our common frequency, that pilots they report each other in case of any control or tower absence. Very good view from the clouds. as of latest situation in our flight, I would like to give some brief information. At the moment we are on the cruise level and we are approaching our top of descent to Ersen Point. We have some interruption on the road. Here is our destination and ILS 35 right Zulu approach. We are intended to land. And after that point, after Ersen Point, we will be flying heading on the Gapti Point, and we have deceleration. And we need to be 28,000 feet approximately in the Ersen Point. And after deceleration, we will continue again. Gapti Point with 4,000 feet. During landing, my hand will be on the side stick because after 4,000 feet, after approaching very properly, I will take control on the side stick, left side stick, and I will do manual landing if I can succeed. If I will have some suspicions on the unstable approach or unstable landing, I will go around. Just I will punch the throttle with toga mode. After toga, I will climb in as per missed approach procedure, and then I will be go around doing. And then I will try again one more time, and from the cockpit I need to give some brief information. At the moment we are very close to Ersen Point, and so that as per my navigation I need to be at 28,000 feet at the Ersen Point. So I'm knocking it here and then decelerating, and as you see the revelation RPM is decreasing, and our descent ratio is increasing from the negative side. 0.5, 0.6, 0.7 descent ratio, and we are descending. Here is some informations primary flight display, which means that our how to say, we are finding our position as per the air and the terrain. Broad side is terrain, and here is a blue side is air, and left side of the primary flight display indicates our speed, our current speed. Our current speed is over 280 knots, and right side of the PFD is indicating our altitude. Our altitude is 28,000 feet. This music is interrupting me, and so that I'm turning down a bit voice. And as you may see, here is our flight director, which is turning slightly left. Now we are heading, and we are 90 miles away from the Gapti Point, so that I'm increasing the scale here. And at the Gapti Point we need to be at the 4,000 feet, so that we can descend 4,000 feet. Now I'm setting my altitude here. Here is, as you see, standard barometer, and our altitude in line in terms with the meters. We are 8,500 meters away from the sea level, and 28,000 feet is our current altitude that we are flying, and then 4,000 feet I'm descending now. And our descent ratio is negatively increasing here, 0.3, 0.4, and our RPM is decreasing at the moment. As you see, engines are getting silent, and we have fuel on board, 4 tons of fuel. This is even enough to return back to Kayseri, and it's even enough for the alternative airport. I'm not fan of going around, but the condition of the landing, during landing, it may change. Here you can see some notifications, ground spoilers aren't, and seatbelt signs on. Barometer at the moment currently standard below 10,000 feet. I will change it with the QNH 1005. And according to latest weather condition in Istanbul, the latest QNH 1012. I'm setting here 1012. It's the captain side, and for the FO side I'm also setting QNH 1012 current pressure in Istanbul airport in terms of hectopascal. And very good, we are descending. Our descent ratio 2000 feet per minute. We are 72 miles away from Gapti. I'm thinking that we will be at the correct level in the Gapti point 4,000, I mean 4,000 feet. We are heading for the runway 35 right. Normally we need to be land runway 17 left, but due to this wind speed is very negligible, we can use 35 right. $86-87 miles away from Gapti. Outside view is very good for X-Plane 12. On the left side our Airbus A321. Skies. Continue descent. At the moment again we are on the descending. Latest situation is we are passing flight level 180, 18,000 feet, and we are heading for 4,000 feet for runway 35 right Zulu. Barometer standard currently, and 7,000 feet later I will change it with the 1012. Here is very good view from clouds, over clouds we are flying. And now left side from the wing view. I'll mention about on the overhead panel what for we are using overhead panel. Here is the IRS panel which is navigating our aircraft navigation system. Here is the different modes that we can select. An ADR system here, flight control, LAC 1, SEC 1, FAC 1. Here is a command panel, evacuation horn, emergency generator test, and generator 1 line. If I select this, if I click on this, the generator 1 line will be out of service. GPWS ground proximity warning system, which systems they are fitted here with a terrain and system and glide slope mode and flap mode, landing flap 3 if it's required. CVR test here, recorder CVR test, ground control, and a mask manual on. In case of oxygen, in case of pressure drops in the cabin, the mask manual can be dropped from here. Oxygen passenger creep supply. We should of course activate this. In case of this close, we may lose cabin pressure. This is a cause, very famous sounds. As you may see, we are descending, passing flight level 120, 12,000 feet. And here is our test panel. I mean the extinguisher panel for engine 1, APU, and engine 2. We can test it just here. And here is a hydraulic system, rod manual on, Remayer turbine, and engine 1 pump, an electric pump, and PTU. PTU is very famous, which means very famous voice barking dogs. Engine 1, engine 2, and APU system. Here is a pump system, fuel pumps. Here is the electric panel, which is feeding for the AP generator from the ground external power. You can take energy, and generator 1, for example, like this, but we never deactivate both of them. By the way, I have another flight from my back. Maybe we may see. I have no idea. Here. Here is a Turkish Airlines plane following us. And also, here is a pressurization panel, which was fed by engine 1 and engine 2. APU built here, and here is a cockpit. Sorry, here is a cockpit temperature setting. And there is a light panel. Internal light can be set from here. The right side also some cargo smoke panel and ventilation panel, something like this. Engine menu start, engine mode, for example, menu start from here. After landing, I will try this panel. There is a wiper for right side, as you can see. Left side wiper here. During rainy days, we are starting the wipers for better visual appearance. And then it is a circuit breaker panel. We have lots of circuit breakers here in case of any emergency, or in case of any failure in any system. We can recycle all the circuit breakers here. We have also lots of circuit breakers here overhead and our backside. Yes, we are at the 9,000 feet and standard QNH 1012, and we are descending. We are 60 miles away from Gapti, and Istanbul is under our wings. At the moment we are descending, passing flight level 7,500. We can stop our boarding music. After landing, I will start it again, but if you like it, of course. And then we are passing 6,000 feet, approaching captain point, and we will be establishing. But firstly, I need to activate LS systems 1, LS systems for F4. Istanbul could be very partially cloudy or very rainy day. I will check if any controller or tower in Istanbul. No, it seems very clear, but I will report myself. Istanbul traffic, good day, Turkish Airlines, altitude we are expecting ILS vector for runway 35 right Zulu approach. I warn all the traffics that may approach at the same time with us to avoid any collision on air. We of course have a TCAS system. TCAS system is traffic collision and traffic collision and avoidance system, which means this system is communicating with each other, with other planes. I mean, during flight, if any dangerous approach, both aircraft or more than both aircraft approach or collide with each other, the system is first warning as traffic, something like this, and then if pilot does nothing, and it will give this warning, descent for one aircraft, another aircraft will increase or increase your descent, increase your climb, something like this, an avoidance system. As far as I know, in the Airbus, by the way, we can activate localizer. As far as I know, in the Airbus system automatically takes control if pilot does nothing, so that this system is avoiding really too much collisions on air. It's perfect system, which is working very well. And okay, we have a deceleration point here, and our speed is decreasing at the moment at 220 knots. Yes, I'm about to establish. Opening one stage flap here. Gear down. Almost established. Okay, approach. Autopilot to engage. We are landing now. Istanbul airport is visible now. Flap 2. Istanbul traffic, good day, Turkish Airlines Delta Juliet ILS full established runway 35 right. Lap 3. 2500 minimum, continue. ...150 knots our final approach speed and touchdown speed. Flap full. Landing. İyi inişler. Decelerate. Okay. Perfect. 150 knots. Approach. We can see 2 red and 2 yellow lights, which means that we are at the correct level. For visual approach, it's very important. 1000, we need to be stable. By the way, landing lights on. After landing, I will be watching the repeat of the landing from the camera of the passenger or camera of the outside view. 1000. Stable. Continue landing. Autopilot 2, disengage. Autopilot 1, disengage. I have control. Light director. Wind is very cold. Two yellow, two red. Puppy lights. When I'm very near to touchdown, I will flare. Rear main landing gears first to touch the ground, and then nose landing gear. Continue. Aiming point. Land. Continue. Throttle idle. Reverse screen. The nuts. Throttle idle. Manual braking. Lap 0. Brake. Retract. Landing lights off. Apply full pressure on the brakes. Runway turn off light on. APU start. Start APU. Istanbul traffic, Turkish Airlines Delta Juliet, runway vacated. And taxi to any possible gate. Any available gate. It was very good landing. 40, it's very fast. On the taxiway. Continue taxi. I may go out from the Charlie taxiway from the November Whiskey or next. LS off. LS off. Brakes disarm. Brake fan on. I'll check. Yes, it's very hot. Not November 1. Next, maybe next. Here is another Turkish Airlines flight landing. On the left taxiway, Charlie for Bravo, vacating Charlie. Right, all the gates are available now to park. Make a right turn from Tiller. Next gate is okay, available for us, Bravo 5 Lima. Make a left turn. Make a line. Yes, we are very aligned to gate Bravo 5. Apply full pressure, stop. Set parking brake. Engine shutdown procedure. APU available, APU on. Packs off. Shut down engines. Shut down engine number 1. All lights off. Navigation logo position 1. Fuel pumps off. From Tollis interface, overwrite, but loading performance overwrite. Fuel 2000 0 and overwrite. Overwrite situation, overwrite situation, and overwrite situation, and reply mode. Here is our reply. From the passenger view, landing. Very smooth landing, almost butter. Another point of view. Here is I will check if main landing gears first touch the ground during landing. Main landing gears here first to touch ground. Yes, very good. And again outside of view. I will also try to catch the takeoff replay. If I can succeed, sometimes it may error. Simulator may error, but I will try. And again, here is at that point. Yes, it was very good. Here is a right rudder pedal, left and align on the runway. It is on this line. We are very aligned on the runway. Okay, I will try to catch Takeoff replay. From Kayseri. Yes. Reply of Kayseri takeoff. Y flaps are 0. It's a back of simulator, I think. Normally we opened one flap, and take off. Yes, here is a Kayseri takeoff. Replay again from this side of view. Let's watch together our takeoff. Here is around, we rotate with speed. Yes. Here is the outside view. Thank you for watching. Today's broadcast was like that. From Kayseri to Istanbul, we had a very successful takeoff and landing. Thank you for watching. I don't want to make you bored because for the long flights it's very headache to watch it and to follow it. It's very boring even for me. So that thank you for your watching and see you in the next flight and next broadcast.